Effective leadership is not about making speeches or being liked. Leadership is defined by results, not attributes. My name is Shavaniese Arnold, a student of the Manchester High School, and I am vying for the presidency of the National Secondary Students' Council, 2014 to 2015. The true mark of a leader is the willingness to stick with a bold course of action, an unconventional business strategy, or a unique development roadmap, even as the rest of the world wonders why you are not marching in step with the status quo. In other words, real leaders are happy to zig while others zag. They understand that the only way to stand out is to stand for something special. That something special today is the voice of the students. The voice of the students that must and will be heard. I first entered the council in 2010 and served as a representative up to 2012 when I was thereon elected as the president of my local council. Furthermore, I have served in many other leadership positions, such as vice president of the Debating Society and Modern Languages Club, deputy head girl, and prefect, and have represented Jamaica in the Caribbean Youth Science Forum. This, ladies and gentlemen, not only proves my willingness to work, but that I am indeed capable of doing an effective job at any task in any capacity. Now, in order to be an effective advocate for anything, one must live by the mantra, negotiate before you agitate. It is with this that I know that I will be able to effect change by fostering support rather than resistance. The question to you now, yes you, is why should you vote for me as your president? Simply because I will not just speak up and speak out about our problems as students. I will ensure and propose and effect solutions to such problems. Better yet, how frustrating is the poor level of security in our schools? How secure is your future? Make a reason. Are you not tired of hearing of your fellow colleagues being injured or hurt in school? This, not just as a result of internal student violence, but also because outsiders enter school premises. There have been many cases of severe violence in our schools, which have resulted in either injury or death of both parties involved, as was the case with 13-year-old Anchovy High School student who was this year stabbed to death. No, according to the Child Care and Protection Act, every child has a right to protection, and therefore, as students, the safety of students, our safety needs to be guaranteed in schools. As president of the NSSC, if you vote for me, and I know you will vote for me, this issue will be solved with ease with Shavaniese. I intend to lobby for a national project which will see to the implementation of increased security and improvement of our surroundings in your school, in my school, in our schools. This project will prove to be viable as it will lessen the feeling of insecurity held by students and ensure our safety. It involves advocating for proper perimeter fencing in schools and more effective security guards. On to another point of action. A great philosopher once said, to educate a man is to educate a nation. And God knows how much our nation needs us now. As student councillors, we are so involved in being the backbone of advocacy in our schools. Yet, when it comes to traversing the bridge between secondary and tertiary education, there comes the big bad wolf, money. Now, in being a part of the Student Council Executive at Manchester High, I've had the privilege of being on the committee which raises funds through a major event each year that goes to the awarding of 3 scholarships of $40,000 to 3 deserving candidates of the student body. It is this concept that I wish to bring to the National Secondary Students' Council. In doing so, efforts will be invested in establishing an NSSC scholarship fund. This fund will go to monies that will aid an outstanding student counselor each year to defeat the big bad wolf and have a chance of attending a tertiary institution of his or her choice, and consequently make that impactful mark on society. We need to show our appreciation for our counselors who volunteer and dedicate their precious time to advocating for our needs. This is to be a collaborative effort of all student council bodies across the island. Together, my fellow colleagues, we can ease the squeeze and help each other to defeat the big bad wolf. The means to this end, appreciation for dedication. But no, it not done this, so I've got your back. As a council, we need to put a stop to the degrading and devaluing activities which our fellow students engage in and allow to be posted for the whole world to see. Over the course of the year, we have seen numerous videos of students doing things that are scandalous, which implies that these students need positive role models like you and I. In remedying this problem, I propose the implementation of a mentorship program for all schools across Jamaica. This will be led by the local council body in each institution and will seek to target the development of students, not only academically, but will impact the development of responsible students. As it is, we are the ones who can make the difference. The Students' Council should not just hold the aim of being responsible, but also foster such development in our youth. Many say the best time to influence a man's character is 100 years before he is born. But in this case, the story has already gone bad. And so, we can try to influence the character of our fellow colleagues before they are 100 years too old. To influence a man's character is to influence his behavior and, of course, his priorities. We need to reclaim our dignity as students, and as such, this mentorship program is the way forward. Responsible students make the difference. Students of Jamaica, a leader needs to be around the people he or she represents in order to hear and become aware of their woes. And you need someone who will engage and interact with you. I do not stand here as a titular leader, but as a young lady who is hardworking and will be relentless in addressing your needs. I represent the youth. You are my concern. I will not say I will speak for those who do not have a voice, because everyone has a voice. What I will say, though, is that in voting, remember that I will ensure that your voice is heard. Chronix says they don't know, but indeed, we, not I, we will ensure that they know what affects us, know what we need. And so, what do you need to do? Vote for me as your National Student Council President, and boldly and earnestly, together we can ease the squeeze. Never forget, it's done with ease with Shavaniese. I thank you. The greatest strength of the National Secondary Students Council is the students' councillors who are a part of the organization. The characters of these student councillors will enable them to impact on the wider society. The character of these student councillors will influence that of students of the wider student body. And so in maximizing on this strength, I will ensure, if you vote for me as your National Secondary Students Council President, that this character is not put to waste. I strongly believe that everyone deserves a second chance. And in this case, teenage mothers, after giving birth, should be able to be reinstated in secondary institutions, as they still have the ability to learn. They still have the ability to impact the society. They still have the ability to impact those around them. And so I believe that undoubtedly they should be reinstated. I strongly believe that in suspensions being accredited by the Education Act of 1980, suspensions are aimless. And so I think that they should be removed and that counseling and guidance should be offered to these students who violate the rules of schools. It is not a smart idea to send students home because this does not solve any issue at all. Guidance is the way to go.